Hi, my name is Tutuzilele Bazisa Sfiso. I am a South African, Norway-based artist, performing artist, actor. I'm also a writer as well as a practicing language practitioner. I'm a former journalist and I'm a lover of life. I'm currently also a theater maker and venturing into a lot of projects. But at the end of the day, I am a Black woman who's just learning to navigate the world. Bitch, where the fuck is my manifesto? Ha! That is basically a very interesting title, which I realize gets people's eyebrows raised. And I think maybe it was also in the context of putting such a the bitch and the fox, maybe in Scandinavia, is a bit like scary to put out. But basically, I mean, bitch can be enduring, bitch can be non enduring, depending on the context that it is. Bitch can be derogatory, it can also be uplifting. In some circles, it's also, or in female circles, bitch can be used as a word of endearment, but not by male, just remember that. But when we look at in terms of, I wanted to figure out like, we declare manifestos, we submit festos, but people who look like me most of the time, these manifestos tend to disappear or not acknowledged or somehow put on the back burner. So it was like also like something that was a bit maybe play with words of I know that my manifesto is not going to be read, or my manifesto will be read but not really read, or it will be given the space of time due to maybe if it's popular to read my manifesto. So it was something that was just a question that I wasn't only putting out there for myself, but I was also putting it out there, and it didn't necessarily need an answer. And I guess maybe the work itself was to investigate this question, or just to investigate who I am, or what does it actually mean to make work for Black women. And is it because we want our manifestos to be heard, or is it part of maybe more of an indigenizing process? So this for me is yeah, the topic, or I mean the title is a very like complex, and it's forever changing as the performance evolves itself. And yeah, now it's just become like an eyebrow raise, but at the same time, it's always everybody's always ready to say it in this very harsh way. Someone, bitch, where the fuck is my miss? No, it's it can be in so many ways. It can be like, bitch, where the fuck is my manifesto? Or it can also be in a really like, where is my manifesto? So the piece looks into the spectator versus the spectacle. And I guess when we look a lot into traditional theater, it's very much audience on this side and performer in front. And I think if we look into going back into colonial structures, the dehumanization process of bodies that look like mine is turning them into spectacles. And so what I had originally was doing was that I was not a spectacle. And so I needed to find a dynamic in the performance that I'm not a spectacle, you're not a spectacle. We both can shift between spectator and spectacle throughout the whole performance. But then COVID happened, and then that meant audience interaction had to be a bit limited. And so giving it away, I guess, the original piece requires audience on stage. And this is how there's a negotiation, or almost like we're having a conversation that we're not really, it's an unwritten conversation that we're having on stage. And having to remove the audience was really the hardest thing, because the whole piece was centralized around that. So I had to find new ways to still have the core of the piece still exist. And also, the audience were also like, they were part of my objects. They were part of the resistance, or anything that was tangible within a piece. The audience was that. And then to just like clean that off, that kind of, for me, took away a lot. And also because this is a very vulnerable piece. This piece also talks about sexual assault. It talks about sexuality, pleasure, pain, joy. So there's so many levels of that. And to strip the support, which is the unknown audience, that they don't know they're a support, clean, and just have me on the stage alone was also very frightening, because there are so many, it's a vulnerable space to be in, and then playing back into the spectacle versus the spectator. So we found new creative ways with Shiva Sharif to figure out how we could just actually redo this piece. And some of the elements, some of the core elements are still there. We've maintained the text, which was the most important part, I guess, because a lot of the text is poetry that I've written, and it's poetry that I didn't even realize I was writing. It was just, sometimes you write or you do something and you're just like in a transitive state, and you wake up and you're like, oh my God, I wrote that. But I think a lot of the things, the only thing that's changed the most is audience coming off the stage and moving them into the amphi. So this is going to be interesting for me, and very, very vulnerable. But we will see. We'll see how it goes. So I hope to see you guys tonight and tomorrow night at Roosendaal Theater. Tickets are still available, and it starts at 7. I hope that you will be brave enough to come in and say, you know what, I want to see what this is all about. And I promise you, you will get an experience. I cannot give you what kind of experience you'll get, but it will be an experience. And hope to see you tonight.